Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to another Morgan James book launch. My name is Jim Howard. I'm the publisher for Morgan James, and today I'm excited because we've got another amazing author to introduce you to. Today we are talking with Patrick Belcher, and Patrick is the author of Fundraising Is Everything Done Before Asking for Money. Patrick, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks, Jim. I'm excited to be here and very appreciative of Morgan James for the opportunity to publish this book.
Well, thank you for those kind words. It's a great book and a great cause. I think this is something that's very important. But right off the bat, you talk about in the book, you talk about the three P's. So, what are the three P's, and how does that relate to fundraising?
Well, so, I like to think about fundraising. If you picture an iceberg, fundraising is everything below the water, and then asking for money is just what you see on top of the water. And the three P's is all that stuff that goes into what's below the water. It's the preparation, planning, and practice. And I mean, the three P's is used in all sorts of things, whether you're talking about strategic planning, getting ready for a triathlon, whatever it may be. And um, one of the things that I think really gets missed in the fundraising world is the practice piece.
Mm.
And that is so important. And it's because, you know, just like you're interviewing me today, or if you're sitting down with the donor and talking with them, questioning and inquiry and all that is a skill, as well as listening. That's a great skill. But we train our fundraisers to listen, to ask the next question, not necessarily listen to understand the person and really engage them. We overload them with information, and they're all ready to, pardon the term, verbally vomit all over you. With how great their organization is, but connecting with anybody, it's a skill.
Mm.
And even to the point of our events, we invite people to come in and speak, and people are there and they want, just like when you go to a play, you want it to keep moving. And if there's a break, you want to know that there's a break, and you want to take that break and go get your, beverage, or go to the bathroom, or whatever. You want to know when those breaks are. And it, you want it to keep moving. And we don't practice for our events. If we're going to have speakers, we need to make sure we know what they're saying, and
Mm.
all those things. So preparation, planning, and practice is something that fundraising needs to focus a lot more on.
Wow. Wow. So many times from the outside, all we see is the numbers rise or fall, or the meters that we see and what a fundraiser is accomplishing. So we never really think about all the details that go in that lead up to that raising of whatever it is. So whether it's awareness or funds or whatever. But when you think about it, it makes total sense, right? You have to prepare, you've got to have a plan, and then you've got to put that plan into action and practice it to a point that it's perfect, that it's flawless, that you can go out, turn it on, and have success. And success never comes easy for any of us, right? So we need to apply those same principles to fundraising. That's absolutely critical. That's so cool.
Right. And it's, and that's all part of the value of your organization. When we ask people to give, most of the time we're asking them to give based on their affinity.
Mm.
And the the value of our organization is based on what they see we accomplish. And when you do well at preparation, planning, and practice, that value is huge. People feel like they don't give you enough because of all the
Mm.
things. You just like when you go to a show, you want people to feel like that, they got something out of it as well as you. So, sorry, I ramble a little, but
No, that's perfect. That's
I'm
outstanding.
passionate about this.
No, and as you should be. Um, so what would be maybe the most common wisdom or thing that you share with a nonprofit when you're working with?
Well, I like to be able to say that what I do is really magical and complicated, and I've got the secret sauce. Um, but it's really comes down to two words: ask more.
Mm,
When I talk with clients and everything, most of the time they're not asking often enough, and they're not asking for enough money. You know, I love the SPCA commercials that come on and ask you for $19 a month. But in all candor, 19, they can do that because they're pulling in thousands and thousands of people to make those commitments.
yeah.
Most of your local nonprofits can't accomplish that. At a minimum, they need 40 or 60 or $90 a month to really make those activities of value, because they don't have hundreds of people that are processing things in all these places, so that their costs are this small.
Yeah.
They're doing it, and they're already doing it on a shoestring budget, but they don't have the volumes that the big SPCA does.
Hmm.
So they need to ask for more money. And, you know, I can't go through a day without, if I'm sitting there on the couch vegging, watching TV, that SPCA commercial will come up 10 times.
Yeah.
And most nonprofits are concerned about asking too often. I love to tell people, Target emailed me 8 times last week. And some of them were just about ads, but some of them were tied into purchases that I've made in the past. Like, they know that I have a pet and I buy pet enhanced cleaning supplies.
Hmm.
So they were letting me know about that. And they know that I'm a sucker for their clearance rack. And so one of the things was, these items just went on clearance. You know, we have the ability through our donor management systems today to be able to segment people, um, in the same way. And if we're talking to what people are interested in, we're not talking to them too much.
Hmm.
And really, when we try to control how much we talk to people, we're really giving them the opportunity not to give to the organization.
Yeah.
Because listen, I have ADD. You may send me something and I may get really excited to give you a donation, but squirrel, red dot, whatever you want to call it, I get easily distracted, and I need that reminder. So there's nothing wrong. And worst case scenario, people delete the email or the mess or the IM or whatever you sent them, and they're not offended. And even if you ask them, if you ask somebody for $10,000 and all they can give you is 1,000, most likely they're honored that you think that they have that type of capacity, but nobody's going to choose to give to you versus making their mortgage payment or feeding their kids. They're going to give from excess, and they're going to be honored that you ask them to be a part of whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Mm.
So ask more, 2 words there.
Yeah. Ask more and ask more often. Don't ask, don't get. That's a big mantra within Morgan James. We're always telling our authors, when they ask even things like how to get an endorsement or how to get a forward, and they don't think they should approach this big known author or this big celebrity, but the real answer is the same. Don't ask, don't get. And in fundraising, we can't expect people to line up just because they see a name on a placard or find that we're connected to some organization and say, hey, I want to give you money. We've got to tell them who we are, what we are about, what we're trying to accomplish, and say, hey, we want you to help us do that. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Beautiful. So what are some of the best tools maybe that fundraisers can learn about or utilize to raise more?
So, there's the field of fundraising is so much farther than the bake sales and the galas and the silent auctions that my mom used to put on to try and raise money. There's so many more tools out there. Um, quick shameless plug, you can go to my website, pbjmarcom.net, and click on my resources page. I put all sorts of resources. And one of the things that I really like to preach is, I hope people are starting to understand that nonprofits are as much a business as any small business.
Mhm.
So your resources, don't be limited just to try and look at the fundraising fields. Look and see what type of business trainings or coachings are out there, because that really does open up your field. And there's so many things, whether we're talking about Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, or Truett Cathy from Chick-fil-A. Um, Truett Cathy has really, for lack of a better term, monetized the touch.
Mm,
You know, thinking about their drive-through lines, they're really not that much faster than McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever. The reason why people feel like they get through them so much faster is because the whole time, you talk to, I think, 4 people by the time you pick up your food.
yeah.
And it's because somebody's touched you the whole way that you feel like you're moving the whole time, not because anything's moving any faster. Then they all are trying to get you done in 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But True Cathy has truly monetized the touch. So I mean, there's options like that. Um, Donor management systems, Bloomerang, Kindful, Network for Good, they all offer webinars and have great blogs that talk about quick and easy things that you can do to enhance your fundraising. The information's out there. You just got to commit to read, 2 blogs a day, or
Mm,
attend one webinar a week. Those tools are abundant, and you know everybody has feedback, and it's all good feedback. Um, some of it applies to your organization better than others, but the resources are out there, and it just takes that planning and that commitment to yourself that you want to become better and you want to help your organization become better. I mean, that's really what my whole book is about,
yeah.
is making a commitment to yourself to um, progress and
Mm.
develop as a professional in fundraising. And I outline these tools a lot more in the book, but you know, they're everywhere. You just have to have a plan and use them.
Outstanding, outstanding. And fundraising is available everywhere books are sold. So I would certainly encourage you to grab a copy of this book. Look, every one of us, whether we're a business owner, whether we're leadership in leadership roles in corporations, or if we're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, it doesn't matter. One of the things that we should all be committed to do is finding causes that are important to us and help support those causes. They're doing great work. So any way that you can get involved in helping a nonprofit, helping a fundraiser, build a fundraiser, manage a fundraiser, to raise awareness, to raise funds for those causes is going to be very important. And Patrick has done a great job with the book, spelling out what you need to think about, not just as a nonprofit, but as an individual, what you can do and how you can accomplish that, and more importantly, get the most out of every effort that you make. So it's an amazing resource. So I encourage all of you to grab a copy of Patrick's book, Fundraising Is, and learn how you can make a difference in nonprofits or in your own fundraising efforts. And Patrick, if people are watching today, they're going to want to know more. They're going to want to figure out, what else they can do, or what else they can utilize. And you mentioned your website, so I'm going to get you to mention that again. But what's the best way for people to connect with you to find out more about fundraising?
Well, so I'm going to make it even easier for them. Fundraisingis.com. It connects right with the book. Some extra resources that I've put out there to go along and accompany the book, as well as all my contact information. You can contact me at patrick@pbjmarcom.net, um, and all the other ways that you can contact me through there. But I've tried to make it as easy. Fundraising is, I want everybody thinking about me, about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and fundraising, and how simple is beautiful. And there's a lot to be accomplished.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, thank you for that. And um, guys out there, as I said, I would encourage you to grab a copy of the book, Fundraising Is, and I think even more importantly, just connect back to to Patrick. Go check out his website, see what resources he has available, see how you can connect and grow deeper in your efforts. So Patrick, thank you, one, for writing this book and sharing all of this information with people who are going to be interested and want to be able to do more with their fundraising efforts. And two, for coming on today to talk with us about the book.
It's been a privilege. And again, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope to see you on our next one.